welcome to another episode of Glitter and Garbage into the Spellingverse. I'm Justine Marino, joined, as always,
Hi.
by the Donna to my Brenda.
Yes.
Daniel Webb.
Thank you. You're a shapeshifter though, because sometimes you like to be a little Kelly.
I can be a little Kelly sometimes.
Yeah. No shade.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with current Kelly, you know.
First season Kelly is adorable.
So cute.
Not a sinister. I mean, she's like high school sinister.
Although I will say we see a little bit of in the next episode. We're doing 5 right now, but in the next one we see some groundwork being laid.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But this episode,
hindsight's 2020.
Hindsight
baby.
is 2020 for sure, especially in the world of West Beverly.
I mean, for real. I didn't realize, first of all, in passing periods, that was really when all the action went down.
Yeah, always.
Oh, and everyone seems to be in everyone's path.
It's so funny because, again, I went to a small all-girls Catholic high school, so that wasn't like it wasn't like that. Was it like that for you?
Totally, yeah.
Really?
And in one school, you had there were patios and stuff, so you were outdoor going from class to class.
Oh.
And so you would have, I can see these moments in my brain of like your friends passing, you only have a minute, you're trying to be clever and you close your locker and you take your books and you go, right?
Yeah.
Like you, like the way Andrea Zuckerman. Man.
You got it.
Thank you. Sorry. The other one's in the news all the time.
No, he is.
And
It's
everybody
hard.
just calls him by his last name. So
Yeah.
that's why it's zeitgeisty. The way she acts, specifically in passing periods, right? It's like she's only got about 25 seconds. So her whole reel.
She's got a paper to run.
Yeah, she's busy. But the way she acts in passing period is very
it's very a business. It's all business.
It's very like high school production of Our Town.
No, it is. It totally is. Oh my God.
But I'm enamored.
So accurate. I love it. Which, by the way, Mitch reminded me as I was watching these episodes today. Mitch reminded me that when he was watching it, he goes, yeah, the first like 10 episodes or so, I just thought Andrea might be a figment of Brandon's imagination because she does not interact with anyone else. And also, did you notice they get into fights with each other? They're like flat out yelling at each other in the newsroom and no one reacts.
Well, did you know on Sesame Street, right? Snuffleupagus.
On Sesame Street, yeah.
Yeah, I promise I'm going to tie this together.
Yeah.
Snuffleupagus is Big Bird's imaginary friend.
Right.
And there were years where no one acknowledged him. And then there was one day where everybody could see Snuffy.
Oh.
So it could be the same for Andrea. We just haven't gotten to that episode yet. Where everybody can see her.
I feel like we're getting there now.
She's shining her light.
She is.
But this episode was one of I think both the episodes, but this one was a strong Gabrielle Carteris.
Yes, very. I mean, yeah, both were big, heavy Gabrielle Carteris episodes.
Lots of content.
Yeah, lots of Gabby content.
Meanwhile, my namesake Donna, there's more than one scene where her only line is bye. Everyone else has full dialogue, plot, relevant.
She's just like, bye.
That's literally bye, and then she walks away.
We do start to see hints of her learning disability in these episodes. We'll get to that. I think that's in the second episode.
Oh my God.
The first one we're going over, though, this podcast episode will be covering episode 5, One-on-One.
So good.
So good. This is a basketball episode. It's also the episode where we realize that Steve Sanders is racist.
Oh, racist, and he is MAGA.
MAGA. This is his MAGA episode.
Totally. That's what you texted me, which is so funny because it was when I was watching it. You were like, Steve Sanders MAGA episode.
Yeah.
Which is so true. He doesn't believe in the system, yet he cheats the system.
Yeah, that's what I was. The very next episode, he's like, this one, he's like, oh, you should be you should have the qualifications to go to this school. And the next one, he's just stealing tests left and right.
Zero qualified.
Yes.
But the one thing I noticed was at the beginning, first scene of this episode, where Brandon gets his first leg up.
Yeah.
Steve's first reaction is it's all rigged.
Oh, of course.
So even though he was there to apply and wanted the title and was pissed and dissed, the whole thing was rigged.
It's rigged, of course.
Sounds so 2024. Anyway, sorry.
I was like, what an appropriate episode.
It really was. All of America should watch season 5 or episode 5
of season 1. One-on-one. Okay, so this is the episode where Brandon is trying out for the basketball team, which I love that Brandon, first of all, everyone is height shaming Brandon so hard.
So
Like, he's telling Andrea, he's telling Steve, he's like, oh, I'm trying out for basketball. And everyone's response is, aren't you a little short? Which is so rude.
and also his main competitor that we meet later in the episode is the exact same height.
It's the same height. And I pulled pictures of their height. So can we just pull up, I believe, Aaron, I sent you a picture of Steve and Brandon standing together. Now, again, Brandon is like crushing Steve, who's the most jock-like. He has the most jock physique. He's set up to be bad at sports,
Yeah.
which I just love.
Contextually speaking, if you were to follow the first 4 episodes, you would not think that Steve was the jock.
Exactly.
At all. And the other thing is, this is the first episode where Brandon's hair solidifies.
Oh, it's so good.
It is iconic. It is.
Such good hair. Andrea's also wearing a tie.
Oh, okay. So she is nailing it. Like
Yeah.
all of her looks.
Her looks are getting
But
better.
that tie look is it like a spotted or splotchy
yeah,
button
yeah,
up?
it's
Yeah,
good.
and fully buttoned. So chic, I think, and uptown, even though she constantly reminds us where she lives, is not in the district.
Yeah, she's like, I don't live in the district.
But she dresses in the district.
She is so in the district
But
with her
she-
fashion.
But she is the first one to short shame Brandon.
Yeah, and right
first
off the gate,
one.
which is crazy because she comes across as such an empathetic. Oh, here we are, Steve and Brandon.
Look at
Steve's
that.
so much taller than him, yet Brandon is the basketball star. I did want to give you a little quiz. How tall do you think Jason Priestley is?
Oh, in real life?
In real life, yeah.
I'm gonna go easy 5'6". Is that a diss?
He's 5'8".
Oh, he is?
But I get, yeah.
Well, I'm like Paula Abdul is 5'2".
I love that that's
She's
the-
a legendary 5'2". So yeah, my metric is like, could I put them? Yeah. Are you sure I question. What's
I
your
Googled
resource?
It was Google.
What
but also,
year?
I'm pretty. What year?
Yeah, people change. People shrink.
He shrank.
Well, he's Canadian too. Was it metric?
It might have been.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah.
that was it.
All right,
Okay,
he's
so
5'8".
He's 5'7". We'll give him.
All right, we'll meet in the middle.
We'll meet in the middle. Andrea's wearing a tie. Okay.
Wait, how tall is Ian Ziering?
I'm so glad you asked. Guess.
Well, I'm gonna put him in 6'2", 6'3".
He's 6 feet.
Only?
Oh, he's only 6 feet. Although when I was with him, he seems a little taller. So maybe
I see seams.
he's at least 6 feet, maybe 6'1".
I have a 2-inch margin of error in both directions.
You do.
That should actually be my fucking Hinge profile.
That's
or my
pretty
grinder, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Don't worry, boys. I have a 2-inch deficit in both directions. I can't read. No,
Okay.
that's fascinating because
No.
they look like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito standing next to each other. They look like twins. They do. That's a movie reference
They
to you
do.
young people.
Look at them.
It is.
That's so DeVito and Schwarzenegger.
But this is the part where oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, is it the part where they're scoping out the
results.
The results. Yes. So that's a little. So they go to the tryouts again. Everyone short shames him. Brandon musters up the courage to still try out, and he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's killing it at basketball.
He's crushing it.
And the reason he's crushing it is because he plays basketball with his dad every morning before school in the driveway.
Yes, they set this up very briefly at the end of the last episode.
Oh, the beginning of this one. Did
And
you
the
see
beginning of this one, yes.
Long
Oh,
montage.
that was the montage.
And my favorite is all you see are basketballs going in the net and the arms that put them there, right? And the first shot is either backlit or something, but I knew immediately it was the dad playing because his fucking hairy arms. Did you see that? It was like they put him up there. It was like someone had a costume ape hand.
I want to know I wonder if he's Italian or something.
I think he's strangely handsome.
Really?
There's an attractiveness to him. It might be just audible.
Okay. I think it's the voice thing.
I think
for
so
you.
too. Yeah.
He does have a commanding voice.
It's daddish. There's a warmth to it.
But it's like he'd take charge in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Do you think he goes down?
Oh my God, on Carol Potter, not on Brenda. Excuse
I
me.
hope he doesn't go down on Brenda.
Does he go down on Carol Potter?
I think so.
I hope so.
I think Jim
She
does.
seems like a happy housewife.
She does.
Well, did you see? She has some fashion moments.
Yes, she does.
She shows a lot of shoulder.
She's getting dressed up.
Yeah, I think they're kinky.
I think they get their kink on for sure. Now, meanwhile, Brenda is also struggling with something. She's trying to get
Always.
her driver's license. and I don't even mean the bangs. Can we pull up? I pulled another bang picture. This is like, we are now 5 episodes in. The bangs still look horrible.
In flux. So I am questioning the chronological order. When they shot it, did they air it? Did all of that go in order?
I don't know. I truly am so confused because in the next episode 6, sorry to jump ahead a little bit, the first line is, oh, a barbecue in October? Great. The last episode, we were in fucking November.
It's already Thanksgiving. You know how you're supposed to know a tree's age by like counting the rings? Yes. That's how you can tell what episode you're in with this show is Brenda's bangs.
Oh, exactly.
They're the rings of a tree.
So accurate. Okay, so these are her bangs. They're still a hot mess. Her style has once again, she's a real chameleon.
Yes.
She's kind of like The Craft. I feel like she's in a witchy era.
Is this the one with the skirt?
Long skirt.
Yeah, and the black top.
And the baggy black turtleneck top.
But I loved it. Super 90s.
I think it's very 90s.
It is a little like I work at a crystal store.
Yes.
And I'm postmenopausal.
Yes, exactly.
It has that vibe.
It's aging her a bit.
Yeah,
but
she beads.
Yes, she beads. She does beads.
You know.
And she's horrible at driving, we learn.
Well, she has a history.
She's taken driver's training.
My favorite is it's like whatever happened in the past, she's still shook by it, but she thinks she's ready to conquer her
past.
Fear.
Past, exactly. She's taken driver's ed, which they call driver's training, which I've never heard that.
Never referred.
But they call it that, and she is taking it now. This is the 4th time. She's failed 3 times.
So my friend, who shall remain nameless, but it was just her birthday, and I did not wish them a happy birthday, but I will today. First day of driver's ed in real life, we were friends. We were, I don't want to call her a loser, but we were like odd people out.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons we were taking driver's ed together. And so we were going to get in the same car. And at the last minute, these girls from another school, it was one of these weird things where the class was mixed from like other schools. Okay. They were like, hey, girl, come ride with us. Like, come get in our car, because there's just a bunch of girls. Driver's ed classroom, driver's training is in the car. Driver's ed is in a classroom, and the driver training is the car.
Aaron, once again, coming through, educating us.
There is a reason for everything. So we drove off in the car, and we came back, and she was sitting there next to an ambulance because she had crashed the car on day 1.
Oh my God.
And on the last day, she crashed the car again.
Wow.
But still got her license.
Well, what's crazy is that's wild.
That's Texas.
What are they doing to Brenda? Like, she should have it by now by those standards.
Right?
So she says when she is telling the driver's training teacher.
Driver's training trainer.
Yes, exactly. She says she's flunked 3 times because she has, quote, a perceptual problem, which is confirmed by her bangs. Absolutely. The fact that you're not perceiving how bad these bangs look is very concerning.
The trainer just looked up and said, I understand.
Yeah.
Which, can we talk about that guy?
Oh, the driver's training?
I saw, the beard.
The beard.
It was like a cartoon beard.
He is. I mean, get out all the awards.
And because there's subtlety. I'm not trying to say he's too much, but there's a moment where he's too much.
He's also giving like a little bit of, I don't know. He's very, also, I love that I'm sitting like this.
I know. He won't bite you. It's because the bone was under the teeth.
I didn't want to, I want you to have your bone, buddy. I will sit like this. Nah. I feel like they're trying to make him the comic relief again a little bit, right?
Totally, yes.
Because he's like making jokes. He's like, oh, you need a new teacher later. He's, at the end, he really does shade her quite a bit.
They do touch on when teachers try to be your friend. And unfortunately, I was a sucker for that. Like, if the teacher tried to buddy up to you because I am a narcissist who needed attention,
yes,
I warmed up to that.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. If a teacher gave me some, like, extra, just like anything noticeable, even if it was to talk to me about my shitty grades, which were rampant. Yeah.
You're like, I'm so special.
Ample
They're like, no,
opportunity.
you're failing.
No, you literally need to get extra
literally,
time.
we have to
meet
bound.
after school. Yes.
Exactly. That's so funny. So, okay, so we go back to Oh wait, no. On that first driving lesson, doesn't she crash?
She crashes the car
because they see Henry Winkler.
Which, do you know who that is?
Of course.
Okay, I don't ever know if anyone knows who that is or not.
Of course. Well, look, he's been in everything. He's
Well,
been
yeah.
around forever.
Yes.
Obviously, Happy Days, but he was also in Scream 1.
Oh,
He played the principal. He also Barry though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay, he is modern.
He's modern
Yes.
too, I would say.
The
He's
Fonz.
timeless, I think.
Do you remember there was a TV show in the 90s called Sightings, which
No.
was UFOs and ghosts
No.
and like a paranormal TV on Fox.
Of course.
On a major channel. And he produced it.
Oh.
Which I always found fascinating.
Okay,
yeah.
Henry.
The Fonz was like into the supernatural.
I love that.
But the driver is the one who distracts her. That's why I think she shouldn't be penalized for it.
I agree, because he is the one that says, "Is that Henry Winkler?"
And not, is that a cat? Is that a dog? Is that a Hollywood legend over
Yes,
there? What
yes.
is anyone supposed to do if the Fonz is within autograph distance?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
She just and again, I identify with Brenda so much because oh my god, I used to hit stuff. This actually kind of happened. Like my friend, we were driving after lacrosse practice, and I was my birthday was in April. I was with my two friends who their birthday was in May, and so I was driving, and it was like between after school and lacrosse practice, we all had the same period off.
That's when all the shit goes
That's
down.
when we went to Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Before lacrosse practice, we're getting Dairy Queen. Of course. Because that's how you.
Kids are impenetrable.
Yeah.
Kids are, yeah.
I used to eat Twix before lacrosse practice.
Oh,
fucking disgusting.
My breakfast, lunch, and dinner when I was left in my own accord in those days were, I think I even said it, were Dunkin' Sticks and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, perfect.
Fueled this.
I love it.
Still alive.
Still alive somehow. But we're driving through this fancy neighborhood, and my friend goes, "Oh shit, look at that house!" And I throw it in reverse, and I like hit a mailbox or something. Yeah.
Wait, you threw it back to go back to the house to
Yes,
look at?
but I wasn't looking and was just looking at the house, and I like, and it was just like boom. Thankfully, it was like no one was hurt. Whatever. Like
Wait,
it was
what
fine.
was so special about the house?
It was just like a really cool,
Nice
big house.
house.
Yeah.
Whose did you? Was it a hit and run? It's a safe space. I'll tell you. I'm also guilty of a hit and run. I'll tell you my story.
I might cut this out because I'm still so paranoid. It was a large brick mailbox.
Oh, I imagined a brick mailbox.
that I completely obliterated. And my friend goes, there were like iron roots coming out.
Oh yeah.
And my friend goes, get in the car and drive away.
That's all you can do.
And I did. And we went back the next week, and there was like a shitty
A
little...
dead body.
No,
Oh.
there was like a shitty... There was also someone working on the house. Like a worker, like a construction person.
Oh, you mean a witness?
Yeah, there was a witness, and he just saw, and he just goes... Like his face, and I just drove away.
First of all, if you have a brick mailbox,
Yeah.
two things: your money,
Yeah.
and there's probably an HOA, so it's probably covered, right? And also, when you told the story, I only imagine you having a brick mailbox.
Yeah.
We had a real mailbox in our yard.
Yeah.
Never that.
Yeah.
But but it was stolen. It was. You know when you get in a car, well not you, but you get in a car with a baseball bat and you go bam, 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 and you hit all the mailboxes in the street.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a federal offense.
Yeah.
These kids did it and they wiped out like a zillion. Yes.
Oh, shit.
And each mailbox is a federal offense of like $20,000, but multiply that by 30.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. Anyway. My grandfather was a carpenter, so he made all these stupid, like, they were cute. But anyway, ornate little figurines and shit, and then bam, bam, they'd mail it. People would steal it. And one day, I was just at home when you heard a boom. And this lady, who now I think was totally drunk.
Mailbox baseball.
Mailbox baseball, yes.
Perfect,
Which
yep.
is honestly has to be a riot. I'm sure it's tons of
gotta be
fun.
a blast.
I am not imagining that that's not tons of fun. These shit has just got caught.
Yeah.
But this lady in this old fucking like long Cadillac had run up into our car and knocked over our mailbox, but she had two kids in her backseat. Anyway, I think this was in like the 80s, so I imagine she's hammered, right?
Probably.
I can't believe you did. That's so great.
Great.
I should have told my hit and run story.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, tell it.
Really fast. My friend and I was not behind the wheel, but we took my friend's Camaro. And
my God.
we just took his keys and we were going joyriding and we were having so much fun and the sun was in our eyes. And before we know it, we ran over the median.
Oh,
so we're talking
shit.
low car, like Camaro on a fucking and we literally went from laughing and joyriding to screaming. And so then, when you've done something, how silent was the car after the mailbox strike?
Completely silent.
Precisely. That moment where you're like, I have to pretend like this never happened for the rest of my life until you're on a podcast.
Exactly, until you're on a podcast. That is so funny.
But yeah, I have a Brenda Walsh history with driving.
I do too. Again, and I used to hit a lot of inanimate objects. Thankfully, most of the time,
not people,
not other cars. Usually, just like poles in parking structures.
Yeah,
it really only ever really horribly affected my car, which was not great for my parents because they paid for my insurance. Unlike Jim Walsh, who Brandon,
the Peach Pit would be unmanned.
It would be.
it would be fucking Nat.
If Brandon didn't have to fucking pay for his
turning
car
tables. Yeah,
I know. Okay, so what were you gonna say?
Just the transition of the Peach Pit. I didn't realize how campy the font is at this era.
So good.
It's not the 50s chic diner.
It's just they're figuring it out, and they have white uniform shirts. We don't have the teal and maroon.
Yeah, the inside's very different too, right? It's just like crammed.
Well, they do write in. I love that they man the continuity with this, but later I think season 2 they do write in a remodel, so they aren't just like we're just gonna flip everything and act like no one notices,
right?
Okay, so Brandon, by the way, buries Steve at the tryouts.
Embarrasses
him. And afterward he's like, oh man, I really hope I get to play. Next year. And Steve's like, it's rigged. Steve, he makes it to the next round, and Steve does not, and that's when Steve says it's rigged.
Did you ever have to await the results and have your name hung on a wall?
I auditioned for like a play, I think, and when I was like really young, like a kid, and they called everyone's name, but it wasn't like a wall thing. I don't think we ever did a wall situation.
Mine was obviously not sports related, but mine was like theater stuff.
Yeah.
Where you had to run and see if your name was posted and things. I never not booked it.
Okay.
You better believe it.
Bitch.
You never. LD Bell never turned this face down.
Yes. No, they will not. But they will turn Steve Sanders.
They
down.
fucking gave him the.
Well, and then he tells Brandon, he turns into a social justice warrior.
Yeah.
He wants us to think.
Yeah.
He's like, there's an applied learning program that allows minorities from other districts to come. It's supposed to be open to everyone, but they only ever have jocks who don't go to class. And he's like, they're getting a free ride, and it makes me sick. And then he goes, you can put that on the record, or whatever the fuck he says.
Yeah. Because he's interviewing with the press.
The press, Brandon.
And Brandon's like press credentials have really gone to his head.
Yeah,
he really thinks that he can just barge into people's business, into their
so
lives. And frankly, he's making the team.
Yes.
So what the fuck is his problem?
Exactly.
Is he arguing for the sake of Steve Sanders, who clearly thinks it's rigged and has moved on with his life?
Yes, exactly.
So Brandon is, and that is again why I said it last time. He is easily my least favorite character.
Yeah.
He's more dad than
Jim. Although Jim gets a little overbearing these episodes. Jim is really into Brandon making the team.
How chill is Carol Potter to tell him to give him space?
Exactly.
Yeah, all that.
Again, they're just kind of figuring out which personalities work for which characters.
I will say this. Cindy has not been the same at all.
No, Cindy's different every single episode.
I mean, there's like continuity in the kitchen, in the dining room. Did you notice that?
Oh, wait, what was
There's this huge window that you kind of never see again. Yeah. And then you see outside. It's when they're dining and the dad's giving Brandon the pep talk about like being good at basketball.
Oh, the part where he's like, winning is a state of mind.
Yeah, all that.
Yes, I love it. Okay, so after Steve storms off because he's angry that he's not making the next round, Brandon runs into the good basketball players at the Peach Pit. We've never seen them here before. Suddenly they're all there.
Right.
That's what I love. Like, every character comes to the Peach Pit that we've never seen before.
Well, right? Especially, yes, because it becomes the centerpiece. It's like, well, how can we still give Joe Itada a check?
Yeah.
and make it relevant to the plot. It's
exactly.
And honestly, the exterior of the Peach Pit now looks like Venice.
No, it does.
And so at Venice Beach, I'm
Venice
like, who
now.
is going down there on a school night?
No one.
I mean, just for work.
They go every day too.
You know, if Brandon didn't have to drive to work, he wouldn't need car insurance.
He really wouldn't.
Because it's like, who is driving him to fucking school?
Exactly.
Is there a bus? There's a bus. Yeah, because it's old fashioned. They showed the bus in the opening credits.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like no one ever takes the bus unless they're
Andrea Zuckerman.
Unless they're Andrea.
Zuckerman, unless you're out of district. Yeah, how are the basketball kids getting to school?
I think Steve said they bust them in, maybe.
Steve is racist and MAGA.
Basically, Brandon runs into the guys at school, his competition, but he and potential future teammates.
Yes.
And he's like to James, the star, who is also 5'8".
He's 5'6". Let's be clear. They're both
okay,
5'6".
this is him. I mean, look, he's the rest of them all basketball height, and then he and Brandon are
okay,
tiny.
but he is taller than Brandon.
Yeah, I think so. He might be 5'9".
I question your sources.
You really?
Because imagine, okay, everyone on camera
is again.
They're all.
Steve looks 6'2",
Okay,
and he's only 6 feet. But that's what I'm saying is they do look much taller on camera. At the Peach Pit, the guys leave after Brandon goes up to James, the star, the fellow 5'9" basketball star, and is like, "I can't wait to maybe play with you." And he's like, "Oh, cool, man." And then audibly, the rest of them are like, "He's never gonna make the team."
They're so mean to him.
They are.
And Brandon's just trying to give him a good game, like be the good sportsman Jim taught him to be.
But I love the heavy-handedness of like, no, we want to be very clear about everyone's point of view, you know?
There is no,
yes.
It is not a black and white issue, even though it is.
Yes, it is. And there's no subtlety or nuance.
No.
It is. Yes,
well,
exactly.
Speaking of subtlety and nuance, the actor, who I'm an asshole for not knowing his name, who plays the short basketball guy, the 5'9"er.
The character's name is James.
James. Mm-hmm. She is acting the house down. Like that girl, there's a scene at the end where there's a confrontation.
Oh, I wrote
and every
that
line
down.
is delivered with this.
Yes.
There's that, you can't even this man anymore.
No,
like
so
it's
good.
so Delta Burke. It's so Dixie Carter.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's giving Mommy Dearest.
No, it is. It absolutely is.
Oh, more basketballs and the. Sorry.
It's so good. But also they're in the library screaming and no one is
shushing them.
Like one person's like, they do one VO of, hey, keep it down.
His dad worked at a library for 15 years. He can talk as loud as he wants.
That is true. That is true. Mm-hmm. Okay, so back it up a little bit though. Kelly also, while all of this is happening, is inviting Brenda on a double date. She's hanging out with this guy named Kenny. Kenny and Kelly. Love it. They're going to the Janet Jackson concert in a limo.
Yes.
But Brenda can't. Brenda, it's a school night. She has to stay home.
And Kelly immediately tells her to what?
To lie. Yeah. Kelly's not a good person.
No. The first thing she says is just lie to your mom.
Just lie. And then Brenda's suddenly like, I'm the worst liar ever. It's like, bitch, you lied to a 45-year-old for weeks. You went on multiple dates with him.
And then lied to yourself about your role in that.
Exactly.
Like
also, you're about to lie to your parents in like one commercial break.
Right. You're actually really good at lying, Brenda. Lying to herself in the moment.
Well, I also love Kelly runs in and we kind of see a little setup of Kelly and Brandon because Kelly goes to the bathroom and she hears Brandon playing basketball with his basketball laundry hammer.
Oh, yes.
And he's narrating he wants to be on the
He
Lakers.
Shoots, he scores.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
But then we get to school and Steve is like, Brandon, you should have been at the Lakers game with me last night, blah, blah, blah. The Celtics won. And he's like, I thought you were a Lakers fan. And he's like, are you from Boston? And Steve goes, no, I'm born and bred Beverly Hills, but us Irish guys got to stick together, which again, it's just like overt racism.
Yeah, because in this episode alone,
yes.
It's like everyone is staking their claim in their like their family history.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't pick up on that immediately until it was one of those things where if I was trying to pause.
Yeah.
And instead it kept rewinding it back. So that was one of the things that kept rewinding it back on, which was also the part where Brenda hits the car.
Oh, yes.
Because the driver's trainer guy goes, oh, Brenda! And then like the way he does it is so fucking funny. It's like, how many takes did you have to pretend that you were about to get in a car accident?
It's so
like
good.
and she did a good take too. Like
she
her,
did.
like
it's
her.
good. And I love any car crash episode. Just wait till people start getting hit by cars. It's really good.
There's the bus accident. No, but I missed the part where Steve was also trying to. He's so bro-y.
He is bro-y, but it's crazy because he's like. He's kind of douchey in every other episode, but in this one, it's, again, the only one where they're like, we're going to make Steve racist for this episode.
Just this one. But then next week, you're going to love him again.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not the character that disappears. They can't make that person a racist.
Exactly.
It has to be one of the core ones.
But it's crazy because I'm like, okay, Steve is saying all this racist shit and Brandon is still friends with him.
The one with all the values, right? Brandon is challenging everyone on their like ethical point of view, and meanwhile just rolls his eyes at his rich friend Steve.
Exactly. Classic though. Yeah, classic bro move.
And the other thing is, I like because he does indulge in Steve's rich lifestyle.
Yeah,
like he
enjoys the pool.
I loved the pool scene. That's
too.
So good. It is very they nailed what I thought LA I mean, maybe it was what LA was like, but they really nail what my image of Los Angeles was.
I totally agree.
I was obsessed with it.
Oh, me too.
Like I wanted the palms trees too. And all, just like it really, like when she's Brenda's like jogging and stuff, and just like the neighborhood shots. That's what I thought.
So cute.
Like, right?
Yes. That is in probably, I think, like South Pasadena or something.
Yeah, it's not real.
Yeah, no, it's not.
None
really
of it's real. None of it's real.
Okay, so then we find out. So Brandon has, because he's a good journalist and investigative reporter, he has mentioned to Andrea about this learning program and how, and this is where Andrea calls Steve a spoiled slut.
Yes, it's so good.
Which I did record because I feel like we just need to. The first time I saw it, I was like, did she say spoiled slut?
There are two Steve-related quotes from this one, and one is where Steve and Brandon are talking, and he goes, "Don't be a squid." Which I've never heard, and maybe it's like LA lingo or like bro lingo, but I love it. Don't be a squid.
I love it too.
I'm gonna say that to the dog every day of my life from now on.
Yeah, I mean, Lammy,
don't be a squid.
Lammy's never a squid. Okay, wait, but listen to this banger from Andrea.
Jobs for years.
The fact is, the ALOP has a great reputation. I'm sorry, Steve Sanders is a spoiled slut who doesn't come close to being a credible news source.
First of all, how does she know the reputation of this thing for years and years? How does she know so much?
It's like, bitch, you've only been a junior. This is your first time being a junior.
And, and how does she get in on the gossip to know that Steve is a slut? Who's talking to her?
Again, maybe she's just everywhere. She's a spirit. She's a figment of Brandon's imagination.
Yeah, right. Is there a gossip column at the Blaze?
There must be.
It's her.
It's Andrea. She's gossip girl.
But she is the one who delivers the news to Brandon. She's been doing her own investigative reporting because her job is endless.
Yes.
She never stops.
She's always working.
Okay, I hate that I'm blurring it together, but which episode is it where she gives him shit and she goes, "Do you know how hard it is to run a paper?"
I think it might be this one, to be honest.
She's starting to crack.
She is starting to
all
crack.
The responsibilities.
I believe it is this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, she lives in Van Nuys. She's a boss. She's the teacher's age, you know?
So that really is, I'm glad you mentioned that she lives in Van Nuys because she is cracking the case on something that is relative to her own existence.
Totally. So she gives Brandon this tip that basically James, the star player who's 5'8" again, 5'9", we'll give him 5'9", has not done an assignment. Oh, Brandon sees in his tech class it's like there are two classrooms in this school, by the way. We only see two classrooms ever. Brandon's in the tech room. He finds out James has not done the assignment. Then we get word from... He
sweet talks the teacher.
He does. And then we get word from Andrea that he doesn't even have a record of a grade point average.
Which is unheard of.
It's unheard of. And so Brandon confronts him.
Yes.
They're the nosiest fucks. I would hate these people if I went to high school with them.
He uses his credentials at the Blaze as the reason why he thinks he can have this personal conversation with James.
True.
He really is like, you may have heard of me. My name's Brandon. I work at the Blaze.
He goes, no, I wrote it down because it made me laugh so hard. He goes, hey, I'm a sports editor for the West Beverly Blaze. And it's like, I go to this school too. Like, you don't have to say.
A lot of parents read that newspaper.
It's very popular in middleged moms.
Parents. But he does use that as I think to give him his credence to his expose.
Sure.
Right? He has information.
He has important information.
And sources, which is fucking Andrea.
Just Andrea. Just the nosiest motherfuckers.
Who's a turncoat. She takes the bus.
She does.
She is out of district.
She is. And she's like digging into this. And also she's doing it illegally.
What do you mean?
Like no one, she's using her grandma's address.
Oh, that part. I thought you meant the investigation. I was like, she's using ulterior means.
No, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's using a fake address.
These basketball players are legitimately in this program,
Yes,
right? So
yeah.
everyone is aware that they do not live in district. Andrea's lying to people.
She is, yeah.
So she's in the wrong.
But I think if this unravels, then that could take out the foundation of her scheme.
Oh.
You know what?
Yeah.
All of this weird moral authority and her whole thing is based on a lie.
It's true. That's what I'm
Man.
saying.
It's only episode 5.
I know. We've got a lot.
Damn.
Okay, so then Brandon confronts him.
Yes.
James gets upset and
Yes.
is like, you've been looking into me, whatever. He gets all mad at him. He leaves.
He
Brandon,
goes like this.
Yeah, he does that.
Brandon yells at him. He goes, the truth will come out.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Ugh.
like that.
He's
That's
not
my
having
favorite
it.
move.
Okay, also Jim is like bribing Brandon to make the team. He's like, if you make the team, you don't have to work at the Peach Pit anymore. I'll pay for your car insurance.
Jim is not exercising boundaries.
No, he's not.
He's sneaking into practice.
And he sneaks into practice.
And he's in the background. Brandon scores a shot and he goes,
Yeah. And then he talks to the coach.
which is, I mean, honestly, one time we had to have a parent-teacher conference with the counselor, which I guess would be a parent-counselor conference. And we all sat there and had it, which was mortifying anyway, about your shitty grades and whatever else. And then they're like, okay, that's it. And then I got up and my parents said, we have a few more things we'd like to discuss. And I was asked to leave and I had to leave. Yes, I had to leave my friend. And I remember being like, oh, y'all are fucked. Like, I'm going to be a bad kid. Because they were overstepping a boundary.
Yeah.
It turns out I was in a high school play where I made out with a bunch of girls in it, and they were complaining about that.
Oh.
Which is literally what made me gay.
That's so funny.
Like, actually made me gay.
Fucking hilarious.
Thanks.
I love that.
But no, I noticed the overstep of the basketball boundaries
I
with
was
Jim.
like, how embarrassing.
Well, Jim's a basketball star. He's trying to live his fantasies through his son,
yeah,
Brandon.
he is. He scored a big basket. I'm not a basketball girl.
A hoop. He got a hoop.
He got a hoop, and it was like a big game, and he's never lived it down. He's bringing
No.
out his yearbook.
Yes.
Brenda's not having it. He's like, I can't do the winning is a state of mind.
Apparently, this is recidivist behavior.
Yes,
and
it
that
is.
he makes Brandon be competitive and gives him this speech all the time.
Yeah.
Which is very parenting. I mean, they nail how annoying parents are to teenagers.
Yes.
I forgot about
Oh,
that.
they absolutely do.
Because you get old and your parents get old and you're like, oh my God, I was a horrible teenager to these people. But in reality, at the time, you were right.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so James got all upset. Oh, and James even said, this, you wouldn't be saying this to me if I was white. And Brandon's like, this has nothing to do with that. Like, Brandon's just like, basically like, I don't see color, I just see justice, you know?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
Right.
But then Jim tries to bribe him. Cindy and Jim are going out. Brenda's staying home, as she should.
Suspicious.
She's not going to sneak out.
She's going to study.
She's going to study.
Did you sneak out?
Yeah, I snuck out. I ditched school once to go. There was a guy who was on the Vale. He was on. There was a lacrosse shootout my friends and I used to go to, and we would hook up with all the guys from Team Delaware.
It seems lacrosse was the bad influence on your life. I'm noticing a trend, and the through line is all lacrosse. That's when you robbed the bank. That's when you hooked up. Damn.
But the guy was going to be in town in Breckenridge over like for a ski vacation, and I tried to sneak up. I ditched school and drove up to the mountains.
Left town?
Left, like, it's like an hour and a half away. It'd be like going
That's
to Palm
leaving
Springs.
town. That is leaving town.
By myself.
That's terrifying.
I totally ditched school by myself and left, and it snowed so badly that I got scared and had to turn around because it was like I didn't have chains on my tires, and I think I had snow tires, but I was just like, if I get stuck, I'm gonna be in so much fucking trouble. So I had to turn around.
Damn. So
But
you didn't even make it
I
to
didn't
the
even make
destination.
it. Yeah, I also did. I ditched school to get a fake ID. I actually ditched school quite a bit.
See, ditching school, I would sneak out of my house post curfew. I'd go home and go through all the Falderall pretending that I was asleep, and then sneak out of the house, which I did a lot. But I ditched school once because I ran over my friend.
What?
Long story short.
Sorry.
We were driving. I should have maybe mentioned that when I said car accident.
Yeah.
She was jumping out of the car. Right. She was like,
Yeah.
I'll just jump out.
Yeah.
Like, don't even slow down, which is, as a responsible driver, I should have said, no, I'll just stop.
Yeah.
But anyway, she jumped out and fell.
Oh my God.
Immediately fell. She went, bam, and fell down. And anyway, I probably shouldn't say any of this. Anyway, clipped the car, I'll just say. It just bleeped the whole conversation.
Yeah.
So then the next day, she was actually fine.
Yeah.
But the next day, she skipped school because she was just going to milk it.
Right.
And so did I.
Oh.
And so then my friend Johnny, R.I.P. Johnny Martinez, he skipped school because he was incorrigible.
Yeah.
And we all took turns calling in as the other person's parents.
Oh my God.
And I called in as Johnny's parents, and Johnny got busted.
Oh fuck.
Because I wasn't a good actor
That's insane.
and was suspicious, so we got away with it.
I was a good actor.
No, not
with my
me.
teachers. I was fucked up. I was like, I have an eating disorder. I literally used my eating disorder as an
Well,
excuse.
good on them for not being like, well, we all have eating disorders,
No,
Missy. Get back into your seat.
I know.
Yeah.
I did feel bad. My like social studies teacher was like, "Oh, my sister has," like, she kind of opened up to me, and I felt really bad after that. And then my principal found out that I was ditching and made me eat in her classroom for like
What?
2 weeks. Yeah, my principal. I had to eat lunch in the principal's office for like several weeks because I ditched so much. I would go.
You couldn't be trusted.
I couldn't go off campus because juniors
But
and
you
seniors,
could go to lacrosse.
I could go to lacrosse, and the party was always at lacrosse. Past the
What was this?
St. Mary's Academy,
Colorado,
in Denver.
the all girls one.
Yeah, it's a blue ribbon school. of
Looney
accidents.
Tunes. Well, yeah, that's fucking funny.
I was the bad girl. Everyone else in my class was like very studious, very college focused. 100% of students go to college. They literally like don't let you graduate unless you've applied and gotten into college.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so,
you
and I'm like
had bangs.
I had bangs. Okay, so we're in the evening. Brandon's going to grab his paycheck so he can pay car insurance, and then he goes to the library. Brenda gets a call from Kelly. Janet Jackson has laryngitis.
She seriously does, and I'm sad about that.
I'm so sad. I was like, damn, that sucks. Kelly's not gonna be able to go.
But where's Kelly calling from?
I mean, they show an establishing shot of Tower Records, which is in West Hollywood.
Established. They did, yeah.
they did.
But the backdrop is just the spray painted wall
It's so
and
funny.
the payphone.
Yeah, they're like, she's in she's out and
Club,
it's funky.
yeah. She's near Janet Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. And Kenny's drunk, and I don't know where the limo went, but for some reason, Brenda has to come pick Kelly up.
Serious bust.
And Brandon's car is there because Brandon has taken his bike.
And the car has a name, Mondale?
Mondale?
Like, I believe Walter.
Yes, Walter
Mondale.
And,
yeah, okay, yes.
And she goes, oh, I guess I could take Mondale. And Kelly goes, oh, you have a driver? And she goes, no. Like, the guy who ran against Reagan. Kelly's just like, not. That's where I'm Kelly. Where I'm like,
yeah.
oh, none of this means anything to me. Can you come get me?
So you don't know the joke about Michael Dukakis and Bush? Because the running joke then was, show me your Bush, I'll show you my Dukakis.
Oh,
yeah, see,
that's
same
good. See,
era.
Look at us
Mondale.
learning.
I know, yeah.
I'm
see?
learning. I'm learning history.
Those
this
are the
is
jokes.
Important.
88, 89, I'm telling you. Those,
So good.
Yep.
Let's go, Brandon.
Walsh.
Brandon Walsh.
That's what the shirt should say. Let's go, Brandon. And then on the
Walsh.
back it
Yes,
says Walsh.
That's
okay,
great.
done.
That's
Merched.
it. Merch.
Got it.
Get
Okay.
ready, guys. Get those orders ready. Okay. Brenda takes the car out. It runs out of gas.
Whose doesn't?
I've run out of gas before.
I have too.
And I had the AAA guy comes.
Yes!
And I was in the middle of nowhere. I had no service. And the AAA guy comes and he was like 26 and he hit on me. And he was like, my homegirl works at Hooters. We should go. And he like used my phone number that I used to get him to come for AAA. It was so inappropriate.
He called you?
He called me and tried to ask me out because his homegirl worked at Hooters.
When was this?
I was 16.
Okay,
This was
see,
like 2001.
This is when, before the internet, and certainly before Me Too, but before the comment section, Yelp, or really anything online, people could just get away with crazy shit like that.
I'm using this as a service
because you're stranded.
Because I'm stranded and you're using it as an opportunity to hit on me, and it's illegal because I'm 16.
So I used my AAA because I was also out of gas, but my car was at home because I was just too lazy to fill up on my way to and from work, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And one day it just didn't start.
Oh, no.
And in my youth, I used to be chattier, believe it or not,
Yeah.
with strangers, and because I thought the world was a nice place. And this guy is filling up my tank with whatever. And I think it's curious, right?
Yeah.
Who does this happen to?
Yeah.
I'm like, do you get this call a lot? And the guy, without missing a beat, he goes, only from women. That is literally what he said. And that is the only thing he said.
I've run out of gas twice.
I mean, I have too.
Okay, good.
I've run out of gas more than that, but I've called AAA twice.
Oh.
I hate to wait. I don't know what it is, but I just think I'll get gas later.
Yeah. I'm pretty now if it comes on because it's happened so many times to me. I do have a Prius though, so did I run out of gas? I don't think I've ever run out with my Prius.
Run out as in like I'm driving and my car goes clunk 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 like
Yes.
Brenda Walsh style. Okay, yeah.
Yes,
same.
fully like that. Brenda doesn't know what to do, so she leaves and goes to a gas station and meets the nicest gas station attendant
In Los Angeles.
in Los Angeles. He just offers to give her gas. She's like, I don't
Sure.
have a wallet.
Hey,
And he's
it
like,
happens.
Stuff happens.
These things happen.
These things
yeah.
happen. They go back. The car's gone because she left it in the middle of the street. It's
With
just
her
gone.
key. She left her key there.
With her key. What
Yes.
a fucking
She's from
moron.
Minnesota.
She doesn't know.
You don't lock your doors.
You don't lock your doors. You don't.
You don't
take
cut your
keys.
own bangs.
You don't.
But she left the car there. I don't even know what she's thinking in any of this. It's like, why
She's not.
Well, she tells Kelly to take a taxi, and Kelly is ready to annihilate the friendship.
Oh,
over
Kelly's
that
like,
request.
I'll
Yeah.
never speak to you again.
Yeah, it's over.
And then Kelly's so manipulative. She goes, but you're my best friend. Because she knows Brenda needs that validation, which I remember feeling that with like
Oh,
popular
people, yeah,
girls.
I can name names, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like there were people who would play me like that.
Oh, totally.
Absolutely. In fact, I will name names. No, I won't.
Yeah. This is turning into a
This is
different
just a fucking.
podcast.
This
yeah.
is just a rap sheet.
So we get back. The car's gone. Brandon gets home. Oh, he gets into the altercation at the library where, again, there's one guy who's like in the background. It's like such a generic VO. Hey, keep it down.
Yeah.
This is a library. I mean, James is going off. This is like This is acting.
This is the Emmy submission.
Yes, it
It
is.
is. And there's not one. If you look, especially when it gets to the heat of the moment, I'm a huge Designing Women hag, as I'll reveal in the next episode.
Yes.
That's Lamy, if no one's been watching. He is really serving every line.
Yes.
And he hurls it at him like
Yes,
this,
he
and then he
does.
does a little back take, and he goes back in for that. And it's so queeny. There's nothing.
so good.
There's nothing heterosexual about that. I'm not
It's-
trying to out the man, but his
No,
acting
it's
style
amazing.
is fucking gay.
It's so good. I loved it. It was a very powerful monologue, and we learned that his dad has worked at the Beverly Hills Public Library for 13 years. 15 years?
I don't know.
However, 15 years.
Long enough that he deserves to study there. Which, can we say, he's in the library and Brandon's like, Brandon doesn't take any accountability for his hubris, right?
No.
Not at all. The fact that this altercation is taking place where the guy is at least fake studying.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
You know, at least he's going through the motions
yeah,
of it.
exactly.
You stay.
So we find out Andrea wasn't able to find him in this program because he's not in the program.
Correct.
Okay, so then Brandon's like, damn.
Zuckerman.
Strikes again. Also, I love at one point Nat teaches Brandon to make a sandwich in this episode.
Nat's adorable.
He's such a fucking
He's so
cutie.
endearing.
So they go home. Brandon goes home. James is mad at him, but he gets home, and to add insult to injury, his car has now been stolen.
And Brenda doesn't say a word.
She's like, yeah, it just got stolen out of the driveway. But Brandon, that twin thing.
He knows.
He goes right up to her. He goes, how did it get stolen? And you didn't hear anything if you were here all night. Which she could have easily been wearing headphones. She was when Kelly called.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Pretext. But she was also studying. Who doesn't study intensely and focus without distraction?
Exactly. But that being said, Brenda admits what happened.
Did she?
She did.
To him.
To him.
But not to the parents.
Not
Okay,
to
yeah,
the parents.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she admits it. So they have their little twin because they are secretly in
Tete-a-tete.
love with each other.
Right.
Because they are dying to fuck. The
They're
sexual
waiting for that
tension.
paternity test.
Yes, they are. Okay, so then Brandon tells Jim off. I wrote down, I can't remember why. Oh, because of the pressure.
It's too much. He's like, what if I didn't, Dad?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
what if I don't give it my all?
Yeah, because Jim doesn't even care about the car. He's like, we'll get you another car. Just make the basketball team.
It's nuts.
Why does he carry so much weight on this basketball team?
Well, also, why does he have this moral fiber where he's turning down free shit? It's like one of my friends had to really sit me down, and I'm saying this as a poor person, but one of my friends had to sit me down and literally said, Daniel, when people offer you money, you take it.
You know, Daniel Francesi, I was at a drag show with him that he was judging that was really fun a couple, like maybe a month ago. And this woman came around, they were giving out free waters and snacks. And I already had some and they were like, oh, here's a water. I was like, oh, I have one. And he just grabs it. He goes, honey, when someone offers you something for free, you take it.
You take it.
Exactly.
You take it. Why say no?
Exactly. It's so true.
In my life, there was a crazy thing that happened to me where I got to be, this is a brag, I'm about to name drop. I got to be Margaret Cho's date to Cyndi Lauper's movie premiere.
Love it.
I can't remember if we just talked about this, but there's afterwards where, and I walked to the premiere. Because it was just a few blocks away from where my boyfriend lives. And then I was just going to walk home. Yep. And I'm standing in a circle in the parking garage with Carol Leifer, Sharon Osbourne, the other daughter, not Kelly. Amy. Margaret Cho, Kathy Griffin, right? Insane.
Yeah.
What do you call? Yeah. What do you call that? Dream rotation.
Yes.
Right? And everybody's talking, and Margaret goes, "Do you want to ride home?" And I'm like, "No, it's fine. I'll just walk." And and the conversation keeps going, and then it didn't, because I'm a fucking idiot. It didn't hit me till like a block into my walk. I was like, "On what planet do you tell Margaret Cho no ever? Like, when do you turn a ride down from any? Yeah. Like, why would I ever say no, even if it is a block?
Yeah, exactly.
What on planet am I
Unless
operating
you're like
on?
really into enjoying the walk, but
well, I kind of am. Sometimes
I do love a walk.
Do you have high nights where you have to burn it off, like at the store, or you just have these comedy nights?
Yeah. I always walk home from the store.
And you're like floating, and you gotta
walk home, smoke a joint.
Yeah, all that. It was more that vibe than like I'm fine, I don't need you.
Yeah,
it was like I'm high as shit.
I'm an addict.
What's
and
happening
need to go
me?
Smoke some more
well, not that. It was
That's
like
me.
Well, no, yeah. I was like, I'd had an incredible evening, and it was just like, I need to be alone.
Yeah, I get that.
It was that vibe.
I totally get that.
Not, I'm too good for this.
No, I absolutely.
I'm not Kelly.
You're not Kelly.
And like, I will not take a cab.
Yeah, no. Anyone who wouldn't take a fucking Kelly?
Why wouldn't she take a cab ride over the gremlin that Brenda drives?
It's so weird, especially because like, bitch, you have a credit card.
And she'd rather be seen in that.
Okay. Oh, I know, right? I'd rather be seen in the cab than Brandon's brown car. Okay.
Brown car.
Okay. Brenda says, though, I know why I was running out of gas because of Debbie Dillman's mother, because she hit a tree and then we couldn't go over to her house because she was in a full body cast. Do you remember that?
No.
That's when Brandon confronts her about taking the car. He's like, I know you took the car. She's like, it dawns on her. She's like, oh my God, I know why I can't drive. It's because Debbie Dillman's mother got into that car accident like 8 years ago. And something about her being in a body cast, which I was like, did I hear this right? Like, I had to rewind it. I was like, there's so much information. But basically, she pinpoints the moment when she got into a car accident that has scarred her and
found the trauma.
Yeah, she found the trauma. So now she feels confident.
Closed the karma.
She closed it. Brandon's like, whatever, bitch. My car just, you just lost my car.
It took her losing her brother's car to realize why she should be driving.
God, I love
what
Brenda.
the fuck. Brenda is really walking through life with blindfolds on. That girl, she's trying.
I'm obsessed. Okay.
My favorite is her indignance towards all of it.
Oh, I know.
She's mad. She is the victim.
Mitch is constantly like, I made a mistake. God. That is her overall vibe. I made a mistake.
So
Get over it.
God, I can't believe you hate me because I made a mistake.
Yeah.
She's so indignant.
She is.
That's fucking hilarious.
Okay, so cut to the next morning.
Oh my God, that's
Brenda's
funny.
ready to take her driver's test. Brandon goes to shoot hoops in the morning before the tryouts and runs into James, and he's like, can I shoot hoops with you? They have a chat. And they realize that they both maybe, I think James says something about Brandon being a cowboy. The line that I wrote down is Brandon says, well, hey, James, I'm not a cowboy and you're not a gangbanger crackhead. Did you catch that?
So he did say in his dramatic soliloquy that he doesn't belong on the team because he's this.
Oh, okay.
So he does say smoking crack.
Oh, smoking crack. I remember smoking crack.
But gangbang. Yeah, that part I don't know.
But also he's like, I'm not a cowboy and you're not a gangbanger crackhead. Like, what? Like, what? One is like,
why would you shout that from across the plains? Like, yeah.
Exactly. But whatever.
Like, ha.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, but he says it with such like, it's just dawned on him. Like, hey, I've had I'm not this. You're not that. We can be friends.
Yeah, it's like getting too casual with you're like, I'm cool with black people, and then you say the N-word. It's like, well, stop.
Exactly.
Stop. No, you're not, and no, you can't.
Exactly. Okay, so they make up though. They shoot hoops.
I mean, how could they not make up? They're shooting hoops.
They are.
Brandon's very gay about this too, though.
Oh, totally.
From the point in the library where he starts that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
To this part with the hoops, he's very like the alpha. You know, like every relationship has a messy one and the responsible one.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'm the responsible one.
Oh, totally. Also, Dylan is like not in this episode at all.
Well, you know who else is barely in this episode?
David
is,
and Scott.
Who are never. I realized that Scott never has a scene without David.
Oh
does
no,
he?
Scott
like, never.
David is Scott's anchor.
That's it. But they are in the tech room, the other room.
Yeah.
The tech room.
Yeah.
Room B.
The fucking room B.
Room 1B.
So the tryouts happen. Brandon makes the B team. It's all good. He deals with not getting his way. That's the lesson.
Rigged.
Steve says,
Rigged.
don't let those suckers intimidate you, Brandon. This is our school, not theirs. Again, just like these very overtly racist.
Like, technically, he's right. They don't go there.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to say it like that.
It's so funny because then Brandon goes, only in your mind, Steve. And he walks away and it's like, you're still going to be best friends with him in the next episode. Like,
yeah. Wait till Steve and Brandon 2016 rolls around.
oh, yeah.
Where's that reboot?
Oh, that would be the Steve and Brandon.
That one.
Oh, I would watch that. Okay. And then this is where we have the last thing is they're having an outdoor barbecue where the last episode, it was a heat wave. The entire episode, heat wave in November. They said it multiple times. This one, Jim comes home. He's like, an outdoor barbecue in October. I love it. So they're not paying attention to any sort of, they're not even trying.
So why are they having a barbecue? Are they just being familial?
I think so.
I think Carol's been drinking.
I
I
think
think she's like a martini mom.
She is. We find out then that Mondale was towed, and then the keys were in the ignition with Brenda's keychain.
The resolution of this episode, no barking. The resolution of this episode was too, like, oh, here's your car. Oh, here's the keys. And it literally ends with Brenda going,
It's like it was very like Brenda.
it's so Brenda. It's
like Brenda, isn't that your keychain? And then it's like womp womp.
Yeah,
it's like
meanwhile, the whole episode is about consequences and accountability and honesty.
Yeah.
And then the little rich girl, who has frankly been meddlesome the whole episode, gets away with it. She stole a car.
She always gets away with it. But I have to say, the rich girl, that reminds me of one of the things James says to Brandon is, you're just a rich white kid. And he goes, I don't know whose bank account you've been looking at, but I'm not rich. And I'm just like,
we don't all have a press pass, Brandon.
Exactly.
We don't all work for the Blaze.
Exactly. Okay. I'm going to give this episode, I'd say, I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5 mega burgers. I'm docking it for all the racism. Steve's race. I don't love Steve as a racist. I'm not
it's too believable.
It.
It's too real.
I want to be in a place.
I want suspension of disbelief.
Exactly. It's too real.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't the real world.
No.
Okay. But it's not the real world Beverly Hills.
No,
not
West Beverly is not like that.
Yeah.
Because their whole staff is so diverse.
Exactly.
They can't have a bigot like Steve.
No, they cannot.
I'm going to give it 2 mega burgers.
Really?
It was frankly boring.
Yeah.
It's too early in the episode or in the season for me to get involved with their like hardcore like racial justice episode. I'm like, I don't even give Donna a line.
Yeah.
Let's talk about justice. She's in the main credits, and James has had more lines in this episode than Donna's had all season.
That's so true.
And maybe because he's black, which is a good thing because no one in this cast is fucking black. They're all white.
That's the other thing I was going to say is like, no, we haven't seen any of these students from this program the entire time.
I'm sure they got blowback for that, and they're like, you know what? Episode 5, we're hiring some non-white people.
Yes, totally.
And making it the issue. 2 mega burgers because Donna's not in it.
Yeah.
And they're making me like Andrea's wardrobe.
Okay.
And I don't like Andrea.
Okay, great.
She's a snitch.
She is a snitch.
Big snitch vibes. And I think she's a hypocrite.
Yeah, she is.
I'm docking it all because of Andrea.
Okay, great. I love that.
Yeah, fuck her.
Fuck her.
Because, well, whatever. She's not on the underdog side at all, and
No,
she is the underdog.
And she's the exactly. She's not looking out for her own
is
people.
gonna vote for Trump. She doesn't know it, but she's going to.
Totally.
Sorry, you can bleep that.
All right. Well, you guys, what did you think of episode 5? It was called One-on-One. It was fun. But yeah, it gave us a lot to think about, but I think too heavy for episode 5.
To be honest, it was a sports theme and you lost me.
Yeah, that's part of why I don't
If
like
they
it.
were working on beads, I'm in.
Theater, if they were doing a theater production.
There's a theater production episode.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Trust me, I remember Brenda's
Brenda
acting
loves
phase.
the theater.
Brenda becomes that. Doesn't she leave to become
Yeah,
an
she
actor?
goes to London,
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
bitch.
okay, all
She's
right,
a
sorry.
theater actor.
Right?
All right, you guys, what did you think? We'll see you next time on Glitter and Garbage into the Spellingverse.
Bye.
Bye.
Glitter and garbage.